Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to walk you through this today because, honestly, we are witnessing a massive architectural shift right now. For a lot of folks, AI still kind of feels like a magic trick. It's a chatbot and a web browser writing a quirky poem or summing up an article. But over in the enterprise world, it's a whole different ballgame. AI is rapidly becoming the central nervous system of the modern business. We're talking about a serious, robust operating layer that is wired directly into your data warehouses, your supply chain workflows, and your cloud security systems. The big question today is no longer, can we use AI? That's been answered. The question is, how do we build AI that won't hallucinate a $1 million mistake in a live production environment? So let's unpack the architecture of production-grade AI applications and look exactly at how modern companies are building AI systems that work safely, predictably, and powerfully inside real businesses.
Okay, let's dive into this because this right here is the elephant in the room. We've all seen those incredible, mind-blowing demos online, right? A document summarizer spits out a beautiful, clean paragraph in 3 seconds flat. A coding copilot writes a flawless block of code on the first try. But here is the harsh reality. Most of these AI pilots and standalone demos completely fall apart when they hit the real world. Why? Well, because in production, real users ask incredibly messy, vague questions. Company documents contradict each other all the time. Enterprise systems have rigid, complex access permissions, and workflows are just full of weird, undocumented exceptions that, Jim from accounting created 5 years ago. An isolated, out-of-the-box AI model knows absolutely none of this. It completely lacks deep integration and business context. They fail because teams focus way too much on the AI model itself and way too little on the massive supporting stack needed to actually run it.
So to really understand this, we have to look at the crucial difference between a chatbot and true enterprise AI. A basic chatbot merely generates text based on whatever its initial training data was. It's a closed loop. But an enterprise AI platform, its job isn't just to chat. It has to solve real, highly complex business problems. And to pull that off, it requires a complete ecosystem of technologies, processes, platforms, and governance layers. Think about it like building a modern cloud application. You don't just write a few lines of code on your laptop and call it a day, right? You need databases, APIs, authentication, logging, security protocols, the whole shebang. Enterprise AI is exactly the same concept. It relies heavily on databases, APIs, and strict guardrails just to function safely. A naked model doesn't magically know your SAP data, or your Salesforce pipeline, your open service tickets, or your custom pricing logic. To bridge that massive gap, we need a robust, purpose-built architecture. So here is our architectural blueprint for today. We're going to construct this production-grade stack layer by layer. We just touched on why demos fail. Next, we'll hit the foundations: models, data, and context. Then we'll decode RAG and semantic retrieval, move into orchestration and agents, lock things down with ops and security, and finally, look at the completely new AI career skills you're going to need. Let's get into it. Section 1, Why AI Demos Fail. Let's briefly reiterate our core problem before we start building the solution. An LLM on its own does not know how your business runs, period. I really want you to let this quote sink in for a second. Consumer AI is about convenience. Enterprise AI is about controlled intelligence. When you're sitting on your couch at home asking an AI to rate a dinner recipe or summarize a long article, you're optimizing for convenience. If it gets a measurement slightly wrong, no big deal. But when you are a massive corporation handling highly sensitive customer data, audited financial records, and strict legal contracts, you need absolute, unwavering control. Turning an AI into a reliable, enterprise-grade business system requires an entirely new architecture, the Enterprise AI Stack, which guarantees that the system's intelligence is strictly bounded by rules, permissions, and verified facts. Which brings us to Section 2, the foundational layers of our stack: models, data, and context. Because in the enterprise, you don't just plug in one giant language model for everything. You actually use model routing to match specific tasks to different models based on their complexity. And then you fuel them with massive amounts of company data, from perfectly structured databases to totally messy, unstructured PDFs. Let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world. Imagine a user logs in and types a very simple query into your system. Can I upgrade my subscription? If you pass this question to a standalone, isolated model, it's just going to spit out a generic dictionary definition of what an upgrade is, or tell the user to contact support. It is literally flying blind. It has zero idea who the user is, what exact product they currently own, or what your specific upgrade rules and pricing tiers are. Without that highly specific business context, the model just cannot be helpful to that user.
And this right here is where we introduce a total game changer. It's called context engineering, and honestly, it is rapidly becoming far more critical than just basic prompt engineering. Here's how it works. Before the AI even attempts to answer the user's question, the underlying system automatically fetches the user's current plan, checks their payment status, looks up their specific contract terms, cross-references internal eligibility rules, and pulls the relevant company policy. It gathers all of that up, feeds it to the model, and then the model generates a perfect, personalized response. But crucially, and I can't emphasize this enough, it absolutely must do this while respecting strict access permissions. The big question in enterprise AI isn't just what should the model see? It is equally what is the model absolutely forbidden from seeing? A customer support AI should never, ever be allowed to retrieve internal HR, financial documents, or some other user's private data to form its context.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how exactly does the system securely fetch all of this specific permission-controlled context in milliseconds before it answers the user? Well, that brings us to Section 3, RAG and semantic retrieval. We feed the model that necessary context through the RAG pipeline. That stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's a step-by-step process. First step, we collect all of your company's internal data. Then, we slice all those documents into smaller, bite-sized pieces. This process is literally called chunking. Next, we translate those text chunks into complex mathematical coordinates, which are known as embeddings, and we drop all of those into a specialized vector database. Now, when a user asks a question, the system does a lightning-fast search of that database to find the most relevant facts. It retrieves them, injects them into the prompt, and forces the AI to generate an answer based only on your actual enterprise knowledge, drastically reducing the chance of it making things up. And the real unsung hero powering all of that retrieval is the vector database. This is just a brilliant piece of technology. Because it stores data as those mathematical embeddings we just talked about, it allows the system to search based on the actual meaning of the words, rather than just doing a simple, exact keyword match. This is what we call semantic search. To put that into perspective, imagine an employee searches your internal AI for employee leaving policy. A traditional, old-school keyword search might totally miss the right document if it doesn't contain those exact 3 words. But a vector database? It actually understands the underlying meaning, so it will successfully retrieve documents titled offboarding guidelines, resignation process, or exit procedure, because mathematically they mean the same thing. And this is vital, because if the retrieval is poor, the AI's answer is guaranteed to be poor. Strong retrieval design is absolutely essential for this whole stack to work.
All right, let's shift gears now from simply retrieving static information to actually taking action. Welcome to Section 4, the orchestration layer. Think of this as the central brain that coordinates decisions, tools, and complex workflows. This brings us to what I think is one of the most exciting shifts in the entire architecture, the evolution from passive AI to active agents. A passive AI system, well, it basically just summarizes an email or answers a question based on retrieved documents. It talks to you. But an active agent, it is literally wired into your company's API layer. It can securely query your CRM customer database, it can proactively create a refund request in your financial system, or log an IT support ticket on its own. The orchestration layer acts as the brain here, deciding on the fly whether it needs to just fetch a document to answer a question, execute a hard action via an API, or pause and ping a human for manual approval. This takes AI from merely generating text to actually operating as a dynamic, active participant in your business workflows. Let's continue with our customer subscription example to see how powerful this really is. Because an AI agent can actually pursue a complex goal through multiple steps autonomously. Instead of just asking for a customer's basic status, you could instruct the agent, review this customer account, identify any churn risks, prepare a tailored renewal strategy, and draft a follow-up email to the account owner. The agentic system will autonomously go out and check the CRM data, analyze their past support tickets to see if they've been angry lately, review their payment history, synthesize those risks, recommend the best next steps based on internal playbooks, and draft the email. This is vastly more powerful than a simple chatbot. But, and this is a massive but, with great power comes terrifying responsibility. If a basic chatbot hallucinates, it just gives a slightly weird answer. If an active agent hallucinates, it might automatically delete a crucial database record or issue 1,000 incorrect refunds before anyone notices. We have to control it.
And that perfectly tees up our next section, because if we are giving these active systems the power to execute real-world tasks, we absolutely must wrap them in incredibly robust operations and security layers. We have to prevent disasters in a live production environment. So you really have to ask yourself, what happens when an AI makes a mistake? Because traditional software, it's deterministic. You give it the exact same input, you get the exact same output every single time. But AI systems, they are probabilistic. They calculate probabilities. That means they can produce entirely different responses to the same question, and yes, they can hallucinate false information. They might behave unpredictably if the user's context slightly changes or if the prompt is altered just a tiny bit. Because of this probabilistic, unpredictable nature, just having a developer ask the AI a few test questions manually to see if the demo works, that is nowhere near sufficient anymore. To manage all of this chaos, enterprises rely on a rigorous discipline called LLMOps, large language model operations. This entire field is all about systematic evaluation and observability. You need to meticulously track specific metrics to ensure the AI agent remains accurate, reliable, and cost-effective over its entire lifecycle. We're talking about strict prompt versioning so you know it changed, continuously monitoring the model's outputs, running automated hallucination checks, and utilizing what we call golden datasets. These are basically master answer keys used to continuously test the model's accuracy day in and day out. You also have to aggressively monitor the underlying infrastructure. Every single time an API fires or a model generates a token, it costs real money and takes processing time. Tracking those costs and tracking latency is absolutely critical. Without a strong LLM ops layer, you're flying completely blind. You can't measure reliability, and you certainly can't diagnose failures when they inevitably happen. And hand in hand with operations is security. Security cannot be some bolted-on afterthought that you think about right before launch. It has to be deeply woven into the very fabric of the stack. We're talking about setting up firewalls to defend against prompt injection attacks, where malicious users try to trick the AI into ignoring its rules. We have to definitively prevent sensitive data leakage. We need to control shadow AI, which is when well-meaning employees start using unapproved, unsecured public AI tools for company work. An agent should never, ever be able to execute high-stakes actions, like issuing that refund we talked about or exposing personal data, without rigorous access controls, immutable audit logs, and very often a mandatory human in the loop for final oversight. Enterprise AI has to be powerful, for sure, but above all else, it must be trustworthy. Finally, let's enter Section 6. Building this incredible comprehensive stack requires an entirely new, deeply multidisciplinary team. The days of just hiring a single prompt engineer and hoping for the best are officially over. We are looking at a completely new frontier for career paths right now. And honestly, these are highly lucrative emerging roles. To build this stack, we need dedicated LLOps engineers to manage the system's ongoing reliability. We need AI solutions architects to map out those complex data flows. We need specialized RAG engineers to perfect that semantic retrieval process so the AI always gets the right facts. We need agentic AI developers to build out those secure multi-step API tools. And of course, AI product managers to ensure these complex systems actually solve tangible business problems and don't just become expensive science projects. This architectural shift is massive. You can literally compare this digital transformation directly to the massive boom we saw in cloud computing over a decade ago, which birthed essential, high-paying roles like cloud architect and DevOps engineer. History is repeating itself right now. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. As we've seen today, enterprise AI is absolutely not a parlor trick. It's a comprehensive, secure, intricately data-connected system. The enterprise AI stack is officially here, and it is actively separating the companies who are stuck, endlessly tinkering in pilot purgatory from the companies that are actually driving massive real-world business value. The blueprint is laid out. The tools exist. The only question left is, are you ready to build it? Thank you so much for joining me today, and definitely keep exploring these incredible new architectures. See you next time.